Hello students, this is Anal Balulaya from Canada Engineering College. So today we will discuss the lecture 4 of our module 5. So we are discussing about the swings. Okay, yes, in today's class let us discuss more about the components. Okay, swings components. Okay, so here in J swing components, so under J components students will discuss some swing buttons and will also learn how to insert J label and image icon. So this will be our topic for the day. Yes, so we'll start. So students, swing components. Okay, so we have these swing components here. We have J button, J list, J table, J text field, J radio button, checkbox. Okay, so we are going to learn about most of these things: combo box, scroll by pane, toggle, label, tag pane, and J tree. Okay, so these are all lightweight students. So what do you mean by lightweight? So lightweight means students, so here these things does not depend on the operating system. Okay, that means the look of these things like a button or checkbox, anything, this doesn't look on the depend on the operating system. They are dependent on the swing itself. Okay, yes. So and one more thing is nothing but these are derived from the J components. Okay, so that is what you need to understand here. So let us learn these things one by one. Okay, some of them in this video and some of them in the next lecture. Okay, so we'll start learning and we'll understand what we are speaking exactly. So first students, we are learning about the J label and J image icon. Okay, so label you have seen and image icon, yes, we are going to learn today. Okay, how to insert an image icon. So let us understand some of the theory before we continue. So J label can be used to display text and or icon. Okay, so it is a passive component. So which is a passive component? J label is a passive component. So why do we call it as a passive component? Because we cannot change. Okay, we cannot whenever we put a label there, okay, it will not change. It will we cannot make any changes. Like for example, if I have a text field, then I make changes in that text field by entering a text or something. But label, I cannot make any changes. Once it is done, once you put the label, it will be like that only. Okay, so it is a passive component. Okay, in the runtime you cannot make any changes. Okay, but in the compile time, of course, in the program, if you make changes to the label, you can do the changes. Okay, so that is not what they are speaking. In the runtime, you are not able to change. So that is why it is called as a passive component. Okay, so in another words, they also told, see, it doesn't respond to the user input. Okay, so if you click on the label or if you do anything, that label will not change. Okay, so the label, J label, have several constructors students. So you can use the J label in these ways, whatever is shown label. So you can put an icon with the label. Okay, or you can put just a string, which is our normal case. Okay, or you can put both. Okay, string, icon, okay, and its alignment where it should come. So this case we will be discussing today because it's a most complicated case. Okay, where you have both the string and the icon. Okay, so that we are going to learn today here. See, yesterday we had learned how to put a string, but we have not studied how to put an icon. Okay, so we can study it together now, string and icon. So we have a pro code, okay, where we'll discuss the string and the icon. Okay, so here string, str and icon are the text and icon. Okay, so string means what? So it is nothing but the text. Strings corresponds to text and icon corresponds to the icon. Okay, which is nothing but a image, the label. Okay, so the alignment argument. Okay, so align argument specifies the horizontal alignment of the text and or icon within the dimension of the living. So we can use all these alignment students: left, right, center, leading and trailing. So we'll see those things, okay, one by one here. Yes, we can use these things. Okay, we can use these options, okay, with that syntax, and we can see what changes. Yes, so let's continue. So these constants students, okay, so these constants are defined in the swing constants interface along with several others used by the swing classes. Okay, notice that the icons are specified by objects of type icon, which is an interface defined by the swing. So easiest way to obtain an icon is to use the image icon class. Okay, so this is how we get the icon. Okay, and this is the name. So we'll see that, students, in the program, don't worry. So when you do this, when you use this, you get the image, okay, in the file name, named whichever file name you give. Okay, so this is given by user. Okay, given by user, even image also is given by user only, given by user. So that's what you need to know. The image and text associated with the label can be obtained by the following methods. Okay, so icon and string. So you can see this icon, when you use this, you get icon here. Okay, you get icon. Okay, icon, and here you get the text. So you use these things with labels. Okay, use with labels. Let us see these things. Okay, one by one, let us see these things. Okay, the icon and the text associated with the label can be set by these methods. Okay, so how do you set the icon? And see, this is void set icon. So this is how you set icon. Okay, and this is how you set the text. Okay, or the string. So here icon and string str are the icon and text respectively. Okay, therefore using set text, it is possible to change the text inside the label during program execution. So we'll see that. Okay, yes. So I guess now let us go to our program. So this is our program, whichever you can see here. Okay, so these are the libraries, students. Okay, that is import javax.string swing and inbox javax.out. These are nothing but the libraries, and this is your class which you use where your main is there. So whenever you execute a program, this is a name which you need to give, that is bgm image icon. So initially I create a frame. Okay, so frame creation happens here. Okay, frame creation happens here. Creation happens. Now what is this frame, students? This frame is nothing but a container. Okay, container, top level container. And here what is this? This is nothing but the name of the frame. Image icon is nothing but the name of the frame. Okay, so here I create the icon. Okay, here I create icon. Okay, and this is nothing but the name. Okay, this is nothing but the name of the icon, name or address of the image, or icon. Okay, that is the one. Then afterwards I put it with the label. So for that I need to use JLabel, and JLabel one is in object. Okay, here is nothing but an icon object. Okay, this is nothing but a label object, and JF is nothing but the frame object. And what is this Indian flag? Whatever you can see here, this is nothing but the text or string. Okay, text or string which will come with image. Okay, which will come with image. Okay, and this is nothing but the icon object. Okay, and these are nothing but the alignment. Okay, this is center alignment. Okay, so this is what you need to know, students. So once we do all these things, what you are doing, add the label. Okay, add the label with icon, to string. Okay, to frame, add to frame. Then set this frame size, make the frame visible, So this is what you need to know, students. Now let us see practically how do we display. Okay, how do we display an image along in a label, okay, along with the text. So that is what we are going to understand now. So I have opened my NetBeans for you. Okay, so this is my program. Okay, so understand, students, here PGM icon, this is the same name. Okay, this is nothing but a class name. Okay, so class name, Okay, so this is the same name I have given, and this name matches. So you can see here pgm icon. Okay, both should match, should match. So if it has to match, then what you have to do, students? If it has to match, what you are supposed to do? You have to, while creating a class, you should give the same name. Okay, so that. Okay, so that is the thing, students. And one more thing is nothing but so this is about the class. Now what is our frame name? So here, this is what our frame creation happens here. Okay, this is our frame creation. And next is nothing but image. Okay, so we have to bring the image. Now you see, if image has to display, then that is nothing but an Indian flag which I have taken here. Then that image has to be imported. Okay, so this is the nothing but the location of the image. Okay, nothing but the path of the image. Okay, so whatever you can see here is nothing but the path of the image. It is an png image, path of image. Okay, then this is nothing but the text displayed with image. Okay, text displayed with image, which will tell you what is that image. Okay, which will tell you what is that image. So text which is displayed with image, with image. Okay, once that is done, students, all remaining things I have already told you. Okay, that is nothing but adding the label. Okay, along with an image to the frame. Okay, which is the next step. Then afterwards I am setting the size and I am making it as true. That's all I am doing, students, nothing else. So let me build it. Okay, so already the classes, everything have been created. So I will show you yesterday how to create a class and all. Okay, and this the image location is same as the Java file location, students. Okay, but I have given the full path, so you can see here. Okay, to be more on the safer side. So I'll just build the image. So sorry, I will build the program. So I have built the program and I can see here building is success. So building is success means I can go for a run. So this is how I run. So when I run, should get an image. So can you see the output, students? This is my output. Okay, so I can see Indian flag. Okay, which is in the center because I have given it as a center alignment. So that is why I am giving it as a center. So let me give some other. So you had some other option also. No? You had some left there in the PPT. We can see you cannot give anything else. So I will give some other. Okay, so left. So left will what it will do? Box orientation. Specify the left side of a box. So it will take you to the left. So I'll just execute this. I'll just build it. Okay, because I made some changes there. Okay, so I'll just run it. Okay, and we can see it will come into the left. Okay, so it is very small, so you can't make out now. So if you make size, if you increase, you can clearly note it has flag has gone to the left along with the this thing. So this is nothing but label, students. See, now I cannot make any changes here. Okay, so label with a string and icon, both things are there. Okay, usually in a label, students, see in the image flag, Indian flag here, whatever is written is nothing but a label. Okay, but this is an image with the string. Okay, so these are nothing but, student, this is nothing but a label which has both text and text, whatever string they are telling, text and image. Okay, and this is also passive only. Why it is passive? Because I cannot make any changes here. See, when I click on image, nothing will happen. Okay, so that is what in a runtime. Okay, that is what you need to understand. Similarly, you can execute, students, at home and you can explore new options. Okay, so that I will just close for now and I'll continue with my remaining part of the program. So let me go take you back to the PPT and let us understand the remaining concepts, students. Okay, yes. So yes, so this is what we were discussing. I will take you back to the slide where we stopped. Okay, so this is I have shown you. Now we clearly know that how can I add an image. I can add an image to the label. Okay, along with some displaying part. And I have also shown you the other options. So remaining options you can test at home. Okay, right, center, you can center and left I have shown you. Right, you can see, leading you can see, and trailing you can see what will happen. Okay, so that is about your label and image icon. Okay, so let us continue with the rest of the part. Okay, so next we are going to learn. Okay, next we are going to learn about the swing buttons. Okay, we are going to learn about the swing buttons. So there are totally 4 types of swing buttons. One is J button, next one J radio button, J checkbox, and J combo box. So let us understand how to use all of these things. Okay, so one by one clearly we'll understand how to use all of these things. So all these 4 these are nothing but 4 types of button. So first one is a simple button, next one is the radio button. So what is a radio button? Where we can choose only one. Okay, so I can write choose only one. So this is nothing but a normal button. Okay, normal button. So yesterday that alpha and beta program in the last video I had shown you, no, alpha and beta program. So that is nothing but a button. Okay, so it's a normal button which will do some action. Okay, which will do some action when we give the action. Okay, through action listener. So this is nothing but choose any one option. Okay, here choose any one option. Okay, next here you can choose more than one option. More than one option. Okay, so that is about these of the button. Okay, so combo box is nothing but you can you will have more than one. Yeah, here also you will have more than one option, but you will have slide down here. Okay, you will have slide down options and all. So let us see those things. Okay, so let us see those options. Yes, so let us understand. So here yes, here let us understand something about the J button class. Okay, so the J button class is responsible for creating button. Okay, responsible for creation of buttons. Okay, these are creation of buttons. So J button is a swing equivalent of a button in AWT. So I told you both can be created in button you can create in AWT also, in swing also. So swing is an advanced one. So here you could tell it as J button. If you are doing in AWT, then it is just button. Okay, so here it has 3 constructors. Okay, one is nothing but a button. Okay, which will simply have a icon. Okay, so see, it is nothing but a button with an image, you can tell. Okay, button with image. Some buttons will have image, no, like that is what it is. So this is nothing but a button, normal button. Okay, nothing but a button with text. Okay, button with text, and this is nothing but button with the text and image. So that is what you need to understand, text and image. Yes, so of course students, what will happen when you press the button? So when you press the button, an event is generated. Okay, action event is generated. For that we have to write the action listener, and that we have seen yesterday. Okay, today also we will see, don't worry. So that is about the thing. Yeah, so using the action event object. Okay, so this they are telling when you press the button what will happen. Okay, so we have seen yesterday, but once again we'll revise. Using the action event object passed to the action performed method of the registered action listener, we can obtain the action command string associated with the button. Okay, so you need to do this, otherwise the button will be waste. Okay, that is nothing but when you press the button nothing will happen. So you need to give the you need to give the action for the button. So by default this is the string displayed inside the button. Okay, so we'll see students. Okay, with the program we'll see. So can set the action commands. How do you set the action command? By calling set action command on the button. And how do you obtain the action command? Okay, that is nothing but get. Okay, obtain means get the action command by get action command. So the action command identifies this button. Thus when using 2 or more buttons within the same application, the action command gives you an easy way to determine which button was pressed. So let us see the program, students, and we'll understand there. Okay, properly. So I will have a button here. Okay, one program I have. So here what they have done is nothing but they have simply created a button, students. Okay, just to show you the button, simply button with the text. Okay, they have not done any actions. In the last video I have shown you an action. Okay, how to if you see my previous video, you will come to know how to use an action with a button, where I had shown you 2 examples. Okay, where one is with event and one is with swing normal. Okay, I have shown you how to use, that is alpha and beta example, alpha and beta button side example. Okay, so here I have just what I have done is nothing but I have created a button with text. Okay, I have created a button. This is how it looks, students. Created a button with text. okay, with the text and added it into the frame. Okay, added it into frame. Okay, so here there are two buttons. One button's name is nothing but next, students. So I have given the boundaries here for the button. See, JB is nothing but a button object. You can see here, button object. Okay, JB1 is the next button. This is also a button object. So I can tell it as a button 1 or button 1, which is next, name is next. Okay, so that one's object, and this is nothing but button preview object. Okay, and here what I have done is nothing but added both buttons. Okay, added both buttons to a frame, to a frame. Okay, yes, so this is the frame creation. Okay, frame creation. So frame creation with name, frame creation with name of the frame, name of the frame, with name of the frame. So what is the name of the frame here, which is nothing but my app, my app, which you can see here. So what is this, students? It's nothing but a name of the frame, name of frame. So this is nothing but the size of frames. Okay, size of frames, which is 300 into 600. Okay, so make frame visible here, make frame visible, visible. So here, students, when you press the button, nothing will happen. Remember, okay, here nothing will happen. Okay, nothing will happen when button is pressed. Okay, when button is pressed. Why? Because you have not defined any action, correct? No, when button is pressed, because action is not defined, because action is not defined, not defined. Okay, so that is what you need to understand. Yes, so that is about the program. Okay, these are the library, students. I need not tell anything about that. Okay, so this is your first button, which is simple kind of button. You can try it home. Okay, these things. So next type of button we are going to learn is nothing but a radio button. Okay, so radio button in here. Okay, in swings it becomes the J radio button. Okay, it becomes the J radio button. Okay, so it is also inherited from J component. So J button is the swing equivalent of a radio button in AWT. So it is used to represent multiple option single selection. So here it is only single selection. That is important, students. Here it is only single selection. Okay, this is performed by grouping the J radio buttons using a button group component. Okay, so button group class can be used to group multiple buttons so that at a time only one button can be selected. Okay, so here you need to use this button group to do the group the elements. So we can see here, students. Okay, we can see here, this is the option. This is the your program. We'll execute this program. Okay, one or two program, of course, so definitely I'll be showing you. So here this is the name of the program, and this is the frame name. Okay, frame name, frame creation with name, with name. Okay, button 1 and button 2. Okay, button 1 and button 1. It is the name of the button is nothing but mail. Okay, and this is nothing but button 2. So these are nothing but the location of the buttons. Okay, location in screen, location of button in screen. Okay, so I am using the button group here. Okay, button group I am using used to group the button, used to group the buttons, group the buttons. Okay, why do you need a grouping, students? Why do you need a grouping? You need a grouping because I need to select either this or that, like that. Okay, so if I add button 1 and button 2, see R1 is an object. Okay, so R1 is the nothing, see F is nothing but the frame object. So R1 is the button 1, okay, which is nothing but male object, and R2 is nothing but the button 2, female, correct? No, yeah, female. Okay, which is nothing but a button 2 object. So I am grouping only button 1 and button 2. Okay, so here button 1 and button 2 are grouped. So if I create a third button and I don't need selection in that, okay, so I can keep it a separate button. So you should not add into the button group. So button 1 and button 2 is grouped here, okay. Then these two buttons are added to frame, okay. Two buttons are added to frame, okay. And here is nothing but size of button, okay. No, sorry, size of the F is nothing but a frame, so it is size of the frame. So frame is made visible here, okay. Frame is made visible, okay. Then here I have not used any null layout, students. No layout is used here, okay. No layout is used. So that is about the program. So let us check this program, students, whether it works or not. So I'll take you back, to my DOS, sorry, to my yeah, to my editor, okay. To my editor, let me create a new program there, okay. New project, you can give any project name. No, it's not open project, it is nothing but the create project. So I'll just create a project. I'll just, since it's a button, no, I'll just give it as a button project, okay. Button project, and we can check our all buttons here, okay. We can check our all buttons here. So this is how my new file is created here. Then I'll go to the source packages, students, because I need a class file, and I'll go here and I'll go to the Java class. And now I should be careful as I'm copying the contents of my PPT, okay. So when I am copying the contents of my PPT, I should be really careful, okay. So it's nothing but radio button 1 is my class, okay. So radio button 1 is my class, and I need to give the same name, okay. I need to give the same name. So let me copy these things except the class thing, because it will be created automatically. So I'll just copy these things, and here I'll give the radio button. See, we can type, students, but it'll take time. That's why I'm not typing, I'm just copying it. So radio button 1 name should match, otherwise you need to change later on. You need to change the name, radio button 1. So class is created, you can see here. Let me give it as finish, okay. I'll just copy the rest of the contents here. So these things are not recognized. Why? Because I have not added the library. So now it is the time to add the library. So I'll just add the library here. And once again, one more thing, students, here also this button will not do anything action, it will simply select, that's all. So I can see there is no error now, okay. Everything is set. Male and female will be the names, okay. My app radio is the name of the frame. So I'll just compile it once, okay. I'll just compile it once. So if that is nothing but the building process. So building process is successful, so I don't have any problem with the building process. Now I'll be running, okay. So this is the main class. I'll just run. So can you see, I have grouped two buttons, that is male and female. So that is why choice will be either one, okay. So if you add any other button there, and if you don't group it, then you can put that button also, okay. I mean, you need to group. This is very important, grouping of buttons. So this is the thing. So now this is nothing but the boundaries, students, left right boundaries, okay. So left, right, top, bottom boundaries. So you have, it is given, students, x, y, width and height, okay. So where that button's position should be there, okay. So that is the position, and this is your output, okay. So you can select anyone. So this is the radio button. Either male should be selected or female should be selected, because I have grouped these both, okay, using button group. And say if I create a third button here, okay, and if I don't group it, then if I don't group it, then you can select that both at a time. See, for example, just for the your understanding, I will tell. So here one more button I'll create, okay. One more button I'll create, okay. So I'll just create, just for showing you the, and I'll not group add it, okay. So here I will give it as R3, okay, my new button. And of course I need to change the width and height, okay. So let me give it as 200, okay. Let me see what is the total height. Okay, it's 500, so let me give it as 200. Yes, so it is, but this button will come down now, students, because y axis I have given it down. Okay, so this will come down now. So boundaries also I have specified, and but this should be R3. Okay, because it is my new button. I am not adding this button to the button group. So you can see here I am not adding, but I have to add this button to the frame, otherwise you cannot see that. So I'll just add it to the frame. Okay, but this will but I'm not adding to the button group. Okay, R3 is not added here. Okay, so what I've done now is nothing but, okay, R3 button is created. Okay, R3 button is created and not added to button group, not added to button group. Okay, but added to frame, but added to frame. So what will happen now? Now R3 button can be selected. Okay, can be selected with R1 or R2. Okay, because R1 and R2 they are added to the button group. Okay, R3 is not added. Okay, but you have to add into frame. If you don't add it to frame, then you cannot see that button. So that is what you need to understand, students. Okay, yes, so let me just execute it for you. I'll just build it. And I'll just execute it. So can you see here? Okay, 3 buttons are created. Now I can select these two. Okay, why I am able to select these two? Okay, because here, yes, see, this is just the just for understanding. Here I am able to select last button, that is last button, because last button with the last button with the first or second. Okay, with the first or second button. Okay, because last button is not added to group. Okay, last button is not added to button group. Okay, so this activity I have shown you, students, because you have to properly understand what is the use of button group. Okay, now what I'll do is nothing but I'll simply add this. Okay, I'll simply add this to the button group, that is nothing but R3. So what I'll do in the program is nothing but I'll simply add this to button group. Okay, I'll simply add it as R3. Okay, now you cannot select, students. Okay, now this R3 is you cannot select. Okay, R3 is not select. I'll simply change the name also. You can change the name also. Others. Okay, others. See now what will happen. Now you can select only one. Okay, now you can select only one. So you should be very careful with these things. R3 is added to button group. See others. So you can add any one. Okay, not two. You can add any one. Okay, because others is added to button group. So the inference is nothing but now all buttons are added to button group. So this is the use of button group. Okay, added to button group. Yes. So this is about the radio button, students. Okay, now let us go to the our other thing. Okay, other concepts, which is nothing but a checkbox. Okay, let me close all the remaining instance of the program. Okay. Yes, let me go back to the PPT. Okay, let me go back to this is where we have stopped. Okay, this is where we have stopped. So let us continue. So next is nothing but a checkbox. Okay, next one is nothing but a checkbox. So let us understand about the checkbox. So students, let us understand about the checkbox. Okay, but before we go to checkbox, I'll take you back to the previous program. I'll tell you the use of the flow layout once again. So we have seen it in the previous program, but I just want to show it to you. So we have seen, students, here I have set layout and I had put null initially. Okay, but now I have put new flow layout. Okay, since this is commented, I'll just remove the comment. Okay, and here I have used flow layout now. Initially it was null, students, when I had shown you this program just 2 minutes back. So now I've just changed and I made flow layout, and if you have to include the flow layout, you have to use the library java.awt. Okay, then I have built the program. Okay, I have built the program. Now what will happen? So if I use the flow layout, your icons will come one after the another. Okay, and that time you don't need these bounds and all. Okay, boundaries are only required when you don't use any layout. Okay, I'll just build and I'll just run the program once. So we can see here. Okay, now we can see here, since I have used flow layout. Okay, since I used flow layout, it is coming one after another. Okay, so we can see the in the program here we have used the flow layout. Okay, so that is why it is coming one after another. Okay, now what will happen if I comment it? Okay, what will happen if I comment it? Okay, when I comment it, this is not required. Okay, so that is why it's showing in yellow. So I'll just build it once again for you. Okay, and I will run it once again. So if I am running here, what it will come? Okay, it will simply show you. Okay, since there is no layout, students, it is not showing you properly. So I'll just give the layout. Okay, I'll just give the layout as null. Okay, I'll just make it as null. So when you give it as null, okay, when you give it as null, okay, so that time it is just like our previous program. I'll just save it and I'll just auto save as happened. I'll just build it and I'll just run it now. Okay, so when you give it as null, so you can queue. So there is no layout, students, and these locations of these buttons are coming according to the bounds what we have set, students, which is nothing but x, y, width and height. So this is what I just wanted to tell you. Okay, so now we are done with the radio button. Now quickly let us go to the checkbox part. Okay, let us close all our instances of the previous program and let us go to the checkbox now. So I have shown you how to work with the program and flow layout is used, and how to work with the program and flow layout is not used. Okay, both I have shown you. Okay, so let me take you back to my PPT and let us discuss the next concept. So this concept is nothing but about a checkbox. Now what is checkbox, students? In a checkbox you can select more than one option. Okay, so here what you can do is nothing but select more than one option. Okay, here you can select more than one option. So that is what they are telling you. It is used to represent the multiple options. So here it will be like a square where you can tick more than one. Okay, yes. So we'll see the program, students, of the checkbox and we'll understand the concept. So this is the how it is, Java and Python. If someone wants to, SA student wants to select both Java and Python, if he is doing any subject selection or something, that time he can select both. Okay. So this is also the program, students, where I have given where I have created a frame. Okay, this name of the frame is checkbox, and I have created the checkbox object. Okay, so this is how you create a checkbox, students. Okay, so J checkbox is nothing but a checkbox it is nothing but checkbox component. Okay, checkbox component, and JB is nothing but the checkbox object. Since I have given here and this is the name of the checkbox. Okay, this is the name of the checkbox. Yes, and here I have given the boundaries, students. Okay, this is nothing but a location of the checkbox. Okay, location of checkbox in frame. Okay, let's go checkbox in frame. And here you are nothing but you are adding to checkbox. So checkbox is also a type of button, students. Adding to checkbox to frame. Okay, to frame, because JF is nothing but it's a frame object. Yes, now this is a size of the frame. Okay, size of frame, and here I am using no layout. Okay, no layout. So when you are not using any layout, that time you need to specify this set bounds. Okay, then afterwards yes, I am making it as true. That means making visible. Okay, making frame visible. So I am speaking here everything is frame from here, because JF is a frame object. So I am doing some changes on a frame. So this is how this program works, students, and this is what you will see. Okay, so quickly I'll do the modification in the previous program. I will not execute the entire program. I will just do the modification in the previous program, and I will show you how this looks like. Okay, yes. So this is our program. I will just change the main part. I need not change anything else, just the main part. Okay, because that will change the logic. All other things are there. Okay, we need not change. I'll simply take you back to the program, and here I am going to change this main part. Okay, I'm going to change this main part. Remaining you can leave it as it is. Okay, remaining things you can leave it as it is. Now I have to just build it because I made a major change there. Okay, now this is nothing but it will create a two checkbox named as Java and Python. Okay, and this it will be there in these boundaries. Okay, wherever this boundary XY width you have given, no, there it will be there. And here I am going to run it now. So can you see here I am getting Java and Python. Okay, so I can select both. Either I can select or deselect both. Okay, so this is the logic of the checkbox. Okay, more than one option can be selected. And students, remember here you don't need any button group and all, because only if it is a radio button then you need a button group, because we are selecting whichever is added in that button group, only one button out of that you are going to select. But here you are selecting more than one, so you don't need any button group and all. And layout also I have not used here. Okay, if it's required then only you can use, but if you are using a flow layout then you don't need this set bounds. Okay, remember that. So that is your checkbox program. So it's the same program, and name of the checkbox is checkbox. Okay, frame's name is checkbox. So that is why if you execute you will see the name as checkbox, so that you can see here checkbox. Okay, yes. So to finish it up, to wind it up, so I'll just make this a checkbox name, box name. Okay, so here two checkbox in a frame, So this is a x width, students. What you can see here, it is nothing but x width, and this is nothing but y width. Okay, so that is what. Okay, then this is a height and width. Okay, height and width. So that is what you can understand about that. So we are done with the checkbox also. So we will continue to our last concept, which is nothing but a combo box. Okay, last concept, which is nothing but a combo box. So I'll take you back to the slide where we stopped. So this is a combo box. So here we will have more than one option. Okay, one second. It will be drop down. It will create a drop down. Okay, or slide it down, whatever I told. So this is nothing but it will create a drop down box. Okay, where you can select options. Where you can select. So here also, students, this is important. At a time only one item can be selected from the item list. Okay, item list in drop down you get item list. Okay, you get item list in drop down, and there you can select only one item. Okay, it is a combination of a text field and a drop down list. So let us see this program also. Okay, first let us understand it, then later on we will execute and see it. So this is my the combo box, whatever I can see here. Okay, so this is nothing but it is my combo box. Okay, combo box, and here CSC is selected. Okay, I'm putting it in double quotes because that is a selection element is selected out of 4 options. So 4 options are given here, 4 options. Okay, so how do I get these 4 options? That I get by this. Okay, so I will here. So these are the elements. Okay, these are the elements of the list which will be shown in drop down. Okay, so this is how you create a combo box. Okay, create a combo box. And JC is a combo box object. Okay, this is nothing but a combo box object. Yes, so this is a frame creation with name. So I need not tell it is same everywhere. Frame creation with name. Yes, students. So boundaries are given. I mean, where exactly the combo box should come. Okay, location of combo box. Location in frame. Location of what? Of combo box. Okay, location of combo box in frame. Okay, so frame size, no layout is used here, not required actually. no layout, frame size, no layout, and make it visible. Okay, make frame visible. So why I may write this statement always, students, because if you don't write, by default it will be false. Okay, so this is our combo box program, nothing very special here. So once again I'll just replace, okay, I'll just replace our previous program, okay, with this program, and let us see the output. Okay, and let us make small changes, and let us see that also. So I'll just come out of the slide, okay, and I'll just copy this main part. Okay, I need not change anything else. I'll just copy this main part and I'll show it. Okay, I have to just change this main part. Okay, remaining we need not change, we need not create a class and all for each. Okay, so here this is ready, students. So it will have 5 elements: ISC, ISC, mech. Okay, so let me just save it and let me just run it. Okay, the first build, then run. So can you see here I have getting a combo box, the name is the combo demo. So okay, you can see here name. Okay, so that same name is appearing here, combo demo. Okay, with 4 options where I can select only one. Okay, where I can select only one. So this is a combo box. Okay, this is a combo box. Select only one option out of drop down list. Okay, so it's so easy to create a combo box in this thing. So let me say, say my college, say my college, I'm adding a new branch, okay, called as electrical. Okay, I'm adding a new branch called as electrical. So what I need to do is nothing but simply add this to the branch array. So this branch is nothing but an array. Simply add electrical. Okay, I'll just write this electrical only. Okay, so electrical, just add this to the array. So branch is nothing but an array, students, and this array is added to the combo box. Okay, just I have not told it before, I'll just tell it now. So this is nothing but an array. Okay, array of elements. Okay, so here array is added to combo box. Okay, combo box. Okay, or J combo box. Okay, that is how it is visible. Okay, so let me just execute that for you once. Let me just execute it for you. So I made some changes, let me build it. Okay, let me build the program once, and now I will just run it. So can you see here electrical is added to the list. Okay, I can see. Okay, I can select only one, that is the nature of the combo box, and here electrical is added. Okay, so that is the concept behind the combo box. Hope you have understood, students. Okay, let me take you back to my PPT. Okay, let me take you. So that's all we have, students. Okay, so that's all we have. Thank you.